Kart Wii. Just like any other Mario Kart game, it includes tracks to race on. In my opinion, this game has one of the best track selections of all time. But you may ask, what tracks are easy, and which ones are hard? Well, you've come to the right place, because in this video, I'll be ranking every single track in Mario Kart Wii from easiest to hardest. This list will be based on my opinion of these tracks, so your list may be different than mine. But without further ado, let's get into this video. At the number 32 spot, it's no surprise to see Luigi Circuit at the bottom of this list. It's just too simple. All this track brings us is a loop with some boost panels, pipes, a ramp, etc. Although there's a lot of off-road, there is no place where you can fall off this track. Yes, I know you can clip through the floor by doing some crazy stuff, but that doesn't count, so even the lightest vehicle in the game won't have to worry about getting bumped all that much. So to sum it up, Luigi Circuit is just an insanely easy track providing little to no difficulty. At 31, we have another super easy track, this time being Moo Moo Meadows. It's kinda got the same problem as Luigi Circuit, where it's just a simple loop with some ramps and off-road. This time though, there are hazards like Monty Moles and the cows. They can get in your way quite a bit, but other than that, this track's super easy. Mario Circuit is next at 30th. The track consists of a figure of 8 and enemies such as Goombas and Chain Chomps. Just like the previous track said, they can get in your way a bit, but it's not that bad if you steer clear of them. This track also includes lots of off-road, but it's easy to avoid it. So yeah, this track doesn't really bring anything special difficulty-wise, just a simple track. Except for this.
Komische Ketten und gerade Breakdance gemacht. Ja, und jetzt kommt wieder. Oh, Bruder, what the f?
At 29, we have yet another simple track. To be honest though, Yoshi Falls is a little bit harder than the other three, because you can actually fall off this track. Yes, the track is a very simple loop, and yes, you can easily avoid falling off, but passing through the waterfall sections can be a little challenging, especially the one in the middle, because the water pushes you into the place where you can fall off. But if you are careful when crossing the waterfall, you probably won't fall off. So in general, this track's easy. Peach Beach at number 28 is also a little bit similar to Yoshi Falls difficulty-wise. It's a simple loop with more turns, but there is rising water and catacracks that throw you up in the air if you hit one. These hazards said make this track a little harder than Yoshi Falls, but still very easy to beat it. Just make sure to steer clear of those hazards, because if you get caught in them, they can do
a lot of damage!
Here it starts to get a little bit harder, but still generally easy. Starting us off, we have Mario Raceway at 27. There are quite a lot of tight turns, and there is lots of off-road as well, but that's basically what's going for it. Although yes, there are some piranha bumps in the track, they are located in off-road, so you'll likely not hit them unless you get bumped into them or something. However, since this track has quite a lot of turns, it's a little bit harder to complete than the previous track said, but a pretty easy one nonetheless. Mario Circuit 3 is next to the list at 26, and like Mario Raceway, it's a simple track with some hazards like pipes and oil spills, as well as pretty tight turns. But why is this higher than Mario Raceway? This one turn. Yep, just this turn. It's super tight and I swear some vehicles cannot even make this turn. Oil spills are a little annoying as well, but they can be easily avoidable. But before we go into the next track, let's just appreciate this epic gamer moment. Next on the list at the 25th spot is actually a track from the Star Cup, Daisy Circuit. Despite being a track from the Star Cup, it's actually quite a bit easy. You can't fall off anywhere in the track, and there are no hazards. However, the turns of this track are pretty tight, especially the one near the end, so taking this turn in a vehicle with poor drifting can be pretty challenging. But in the end, this course does provide a decent challenge. The last SNES track in this list at 24 is Ghost Valley 2. This track is dark, so it may be hard to see what's in front of you, providing a challenge. The walls in this track fall off as you hit them as well, so if you hit a wall and it falls off, you can fall off in the part where the wall originally was. But the main point why Ghost Valley 2 is this slow is because it's the shortest track in the game. You'll probably clear this track in like 1¼ minutes. Still, this track provides a little challenge. The final circuit track is GCN Mario Circuit, resting at spot 23. And I can say that this is the hardest circuit track in my opinion. There's a chain chomp that's hard to avoid, Goombas that are hard to avoid at the end, and lots of tight turns. It's super hard taking these, especially with a poor drifting vehicle like I am in the footage. But overall, it's a Mario Circuit track with a little challenge, even though the hazards and the turns can make this course a bit tough.
You just got coconut mauled. And now send this all your friends to totally coconut maul them.
Aside from that joke, Coconut Mall at number 22 is fairly challenging, but easy. The track doesn't offer too many turns, you likely won't fall off in this track, and even though there are annoying hazards, they can still be avoidable.
Except for those darn cars, they have destroyed my life.
So overall, Coconut Mall's a tiny bit hard, but it's easily beatable. The next track is Shy Guy Beach at 21. The track is very flat and has a simple layout, but the main reason for its difficulty are the hazards. The crabs can get in your way a lot since they move in an annoying way, and the cannons just blow you up if you hit one of them. And when driving you also slide a little, which makes it harder to take turns, but overall it's a fairly average course. At number 20 is Delfino Square, and once again it's fairly average based on difficulty. There's quite a bit of turns you need to make, some being tight, as well as a couple of crates which put you to a stop if you hit one. And although falling off in this track may be rare, when you do so, it can set you back a lot, but in general, Delfino Square is fairly average difficulty wise, like Shy Guy Beach. Mushroom Gorge is at the 19th spot, and its main gimmick is its bouncy mushrooms where you, well, bounce in them. This alone can be quite a challenge, although if you go slow and steady, you'll probably not fall off. But if you use an item like a mushroom when bouncing, you may overshoot it and fall off. Getting bumped during the mushroom part is also annoying as well, since you'll likely fall off of the track, especially if you're a lightweight. But the track layout is quite simple, and there are little hazards in the track, so Mushroom Gorge is basically average. Next is Waluigi Stadium at 18. This course features lots of jumps, half pipes, and a couple of fire bars. The turns in this course are fairly moderate, apart from the last three at the end, which are quite hard, but the piranha plants that pop out of the pipes are pretty annoying to get past. It's annoying whether you'll get past them in time or not, and if you try to get around them via the half pipes but fell, you'll lose a lot of time. So overall, this track could be a little hard, but fine if you know how to play it. At 17th, we have Sherbetland. This track is kind of painful. The entire of the track is super slippery, and add that with really tight turns and annoying penguins that get in your way and make you spin out when you hit one, makes this track super annoying. However, there aren't that much turns, and there's some long straightaways, so overall, this should be okay. We have finally reached the halfway spot in this list. These next 16 courses I'm about to say are on the harder side. Some can only be a little hard, while others can be excruciatingly difficult. So at number 16, we have Desert Hills. The course features 5 snakes and pokies, which, especially the former, can get in your way a lot. The first few turns in this track are quite easy to take, but why the heck are the last turns so stupidly tight? It's super hard to take these turns since there's lots of them, and they're so tight, and the slippery road doesn't help things. So in the end, Desert Hills is a track which is a little bit hard. 15th on the list is DK Snowball Cross, or DK Summit as you Americans call it. It has lots of half pipes, bumps, thick snow, and snowboarding Shy Guys. The Shy Guys can be a little annoying since they'll probably slow you down, either hitting them or trying to dodge them. Some of the turns can be quite hard, and you can fall off in places, but overall, this track should be fine despite being a little hard. The next track in this list is Toad's Factory, and you're probably going to hate me for this, because it's a course from the Mushroom Cup, which is like the Beginner Cup. Anyways, the only reason why this course is at 14th is because of the hazards this track offers. They are actually insane. From crates to squashers to moving platforms and tractors, this track literally has all the hazards to offer. But the track layout is relatively simple, only featuring a few turns. So in the end, Toad's Factory is a little bit challenging. The final course in the average but fairly challenging category is DK's Jungle Parkway at spot 13. Although the track doesn't include that much hazards aside from a ramp, the layout includes quite a lot of turns, some of which last for quite a long time, for example, the turn leading into the big ramp. The slightly slippery off-road doesn't help this either, making this track harder to complete. This track is fairly challenging, however, the next tracks are even more challenging. Now we move on to the challenging tracks. At number 12, we have our first challenging track, Peach Gardens. The layout is quite tricky, and the off-road patches can be quite hard to avoid, especially with a poor drifting vehicle. The change humps that move around different parts of the track slow you down a lot if you hit one, and they may surprise you when taking a turn. The multi-moles near the end are annoying, as well as the road there being for some reason slippery, but with enough practice, this course should be fine, although it's hard. Bowser Castle 3 is next at 11th, and this is pretty tough. There's lots of thwomps and lava you can fall into. The thwomps are pretty easy to avoid, unless you're trying to risk it. Even though you may be prone to fall in the lava at some points, if you're careful, it'll be fine. But the layout is quite complex, even though it's a track from the Game Boy Advance. And the ramps may be a little weird to drive because they shoot you straight up. And if you're playing this track competitively, not me obviously, it offers so many precise inputs and techniques for you to win. So this track is pretty challenging. We have now entered the top 10, and what better track to start with than Cooper Cave. There are many places to fall off, some of the turns may be quite hard, and don't even get me started inside the pipe. The shockers are super annoying, and you can easily lose control of your vehicle if you take a turn wrong while in the pipe. And the waterfall just outside the pipe goes so fast, if you get caught in it without a speed item, you'll instantly fall off. So Cooper Cave is pretty tough, but it's not that bad if you know the course well. 9th is Maple Treeway, which is one of my favourite tracks from this game. However, the difficulty is pretty hard. Driving the tree branches can be a little tough, and you can even get a weird drift in these and fall off, even when you should have stayed on. Wiggler is just annoying to deal with, and there are lots of places to fall off, so be careful if you're a lightweight. In the end though, Maple Treeway is a challenging course with some annoying parts to it. At 8th on the list, we have Dry Ruins. The track features quite a bit of pokies, and some pillars that can fall on you. Dodging these are quite easy unless you get bumped or something. However, due to the slippery road, it makes taking some turns harder than it should be. The half-pipe part is also pretty tricky. You either slow yourself down by going over both half-pipes, or trying to only go over one, but there's a high risk of failing. Either way, we can say that Dry Ruins is a pretty hard track. DK Mountain. Probably one of the most painful tracks in Mario Kart Wii. It's at number 7 in this list, and there's a reason for it. The turns at the middle are so darn tight, only some vehicles can take the turn without failing. The rocks can be annoying, and can sometimes surprise you. The darn bridge at the end is easy to fall off. It's literally a place where the Mario Kart simulator was born. This track's just pain, and it's hard as well. Now heading on to N64 Bowser's Castle at number 6. I said in a video of mine, ranking the tracks in Mario Kart 64 from easiest to hardest, that Bowser's Castle was the hardest track in that game, and that it's just pure evil. In Mario Kart Wii, that's not really the case. While the track does still provide a lot of challenge, it's a little easier in Mario Kart Wii because the track's much wider. This low makes it much easier to dodge the hazards in this track. While the hazards can still be annoying and there are some tight turns, this track's challenging to some extent. Now on to the top 5, starting with Grumble Volcano. The track is quite bumpy to say the least, and it has lots of lava to fall into. It's actually quite easy to get bumped into it, because the moving stone platforms can sometimes mess you up, and you end up falling. Flaming rocks fall from the sky and can spin you out as well. Some of the turns can be quite hard to take. On top of that, parts of the flipping ground fall. I think that's enough said. Wario's Gold Mine. A course from the Flower Cup at number 4. It must be super difficult since it's a course from the Flower Cup. And indeed it is. Although the turns may not be that hard, except for that one turn there, basically everything else is super hard. And I mean super duper hard. You can fall off in a wide variety of places. The trucks can be annoying and make you lose lots of time if you get hit by one. The down and up parts can be hard to control your vehicle on, and the bats can get in your way so much. I don't see why this is a course in the flippin' Flower Cup. 3rd place goes to Moonview Highway. This track only has one simple reason.
Cars.
These things are painful. There are so many of them in this track, and they can be tough to avoid, and the bomb cars just blow you up. Yeah, enough said about the cars. Even though the course layout is relatively simple, apart from some tricky turns at the beginning, this course is absolutely tough. At 2nd place, we have Bowser's Castle, the Wii version. Okay, what does this track have to offer? Lots of lava, tight turns, pillars of lava that can surprise you, swamps that crush you, thick mud that puts you basically to a complete stop, wobbly ground, fire bars, a giant Robo Bowser, and that was just the beginning. The turns are quite tight, and there are lots of half-pipes right next to lava, as well as lots of ramps. Dang, this track is so hard. But here comes the obvious. First place goes to ASDF course. Nah, just kidding, it's Rainbow Road. Now, out of all the Rainbow Roads in the entire Mario Kart series, this, in my opinion, has to be the hardest. The turns are pretty tough to make, especially the ones right before the cannon. There are hardly any guardrails, and you can fall off basically anywhere. Rainbow Road is the hardest course in Mario Kart Wii because it's Rainbow Road. But this track is outstanding. I love the amazing colours, music, atmosphere, and just everything basically. And now this video comes to an end. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I put a lot of effort into making this video, so I'd really appreciate it if you like the video and subscribe to my channel. Doing these will help out my channel a lot, and I'll maybe upload more videos like these. But anyways, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!